Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. Here in the Bible Bistro, well, we have a new week this week of studying God's Word, and we have such an excellent psalm to study this week, Psalm 16. We find a large portion of Psalm 16 in the New Testament. We'll talk about that this week as well. This is a miktam of David. That's all we have for an introduction, but we have something new here. Miktam is something we've not seen before as a description in the introductions. And so we have it here in this psalm. And again, it's another one of those words we're not really sure what it is or what it means. This word miktam is close to the Hebrew word for gold. So some have called this a golden psalm. And I like that particular translation because of the nature of the psalm itself. Some have said that this is close to an Akkadian word that means covering. And sometimes in the study of the Hebrew language, the classical Hebrew language, you'll look around other Semitic languages and Near Semitic languages for similar words because maybe there was some crossover, between the two language cultures. And there's an Akkadian word that's close to this that means covering. So some have called this, maybe instead of a miktam, we call this a silent prayer, that David's covering his lips as he prays. There are 6 of these in the Psalter. This is the first one. They're all Davidic, and this one is maybe the most wonderful of all of them because it's also messianic. That's why I like the translation Golden Psalm, because this is all about the Messiah. Well, not all of it, but a great deal of it. And so if you want to divide this up, we have David's prayer in 1 through 4. Then we have what I call the shades of messianic thought in verses 5 through 7. And then in verses 8 through 11, this is what is quoted in the New Testament, these last 4 verses, 8, 9, 10, 11, because here Peter comes in his sermon during the day of Pentecost, and he quotes from Psalm 16, and he quotes this entire passage, 8 through 11, in his sermon. And so we'll see that coming up as we go forward during the week. But we want to start with David's prayer, and because this psalm is so messianic, we could even say this is Christ's prayer. He's praying this perhaps sometime during his maybe time in the garden, maybe during his days when he would go away and pray up on a mountaintop. But we have this prayer that begins here in verse 1. So I want to read today verses 1 and 2. Verse 1. Preserve me, O God, for in thee do I put my trust. O my soul, thou hast said unto the Lord, Thou art my God. My goodness extendeth not to thee. Okay, so that's verses 1 and 2. Preserve me, O God, for in thee do I put my trust. So whether this is the Messiah or whether this is David praying here, it could be us praying here too, couldn't it? This would be a prayer that we could take into our prayer closet. Preserve me, or keep me. That's the idea. Keep me, O God, for in you I trust. So there's no other place for us to go to be kept. He's the only one whose hand can keep us. And he says, and this is why I say keep me, because only in you, for in thee do I put my trust. So he's making a prayer and he's making a confession. And then he says, O my soul, thou hast said unto the Lord, Thou art my Lord. My goodness extendeth not unto thee. Here's another confession. But this is a confession of need, because he says, my goodness extends not unto you. Do you remember Psalm 14? In Psalm 14, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. And then we have that description of mankind. There's none that does good, no, not one. That's why I think maybe this is David speaking here, not Messiah, because Messiah was sinless. And so this prayer probably prayed by David himself and could be, again, prayed by us. My goodness does not extend to you. It doesn't compare to you. And so I need you. I have to have you. Oh, my soul has said unto the Lord, Thou art my Lord. Yeah. So this confession, this prayer, It's all about dependence upon the goodness of God towards us in this life. All right, join me tomorrow. We're going to look at verses 3 and 4, and here we'll see a nice contrast that the psalmist gives us here on Daily Dose Radio.